Hello students, this is Dr. Hemendra Sharma. Today I am here to teach you something about entrepreneurship and small business management. Today's topic is self-assessment for yourself regarding your business idea, the business which you're looking forward to start with, or the business which you're looking forward to begin. You should be first aware as to what strength or what the SWOT analysis you are having regarding your business. So let's first begin. What is self-assessment? Self-assessment is basically the concept where before beginning of anything you should be aware of about your strength and weaknesses. Now what are the strength? Your financial capacity, your knowledge of the business which you are about to get start, or about the business idea which you are about to start. In spite, even you should be aware of what the different competitors are there in the market regarding your business. What other challenges will be there, what will be the logistics, what other necessary licensing arrangements are required to be made before starting your business. So these all are the basic things. Whenever you start your business, you should have prior knowledge, and these all points are time and again required to be jotted down before you commence your business. So let's start with this. To figure out if you should go ahead with your business idea, you need to ask questions like these. Is the market saturated? Does your city really need another hardware store or flower shop? How much money is spent in your industry each year in your area? Is there room in the market for one more business? So these all are the things before starting your business you should be analyzing whether whether the idea in which you are entering, is that particular market saturated? Does that require any additional outlet similar like yours, as there are already similar ones which are running? So these all aspects are required. Whether there is enough room in the market to that you should also enter into the same business where already the competitors are there. So these all aspects, when you are starting your business, need to be considered. Another point is, does the market want what you are offering? If you are thinking of providing daycare for dogs, or a facility where people can cook a week's worth of meals in a group setting, will anyone care? Or if you are developing a new online service for day traders, is it something they can't live without? So you have to understand the need and requirement of the business, whether that is the need of the hour that you are about to start the business. Because developing an idea is quite easy, but to implement that idea into a real practical world, seeing the challenges and threats in the market, you have to understand the concept we are about to launch in the market is acceptable by the audience or not. Next point is, what's the competition doing? What do they do well? What do they do well? What do they do poorly? What's unique about them? Can you offer something different that will encourage customers to patronize you instead of more established businesses? So like for example, if we if we see during the marriage times, whenever there is a peak time of marriages in India, you see the demand for the bouquet all of a sudden rises. What is that? It's basically they are looking forward to sell the flowers. But if you see how many organized shops up to our standard are there, very minuscule in, if we talk about Lucknow as an example. But from past 10 years, or from last say 5 years, if you see, that market has also get organized, has that is also got organized. And why is so? Because of the demand in the market at that particular point of time. Before that, if I talk about 10, 15, 20 years back, there are only few of the sellers, and we already know agar wahan milega to theek hai, otherwise kahin nahi milega. But now there are people coming with a business idea with the unique concepts of decorating the flowers and making them in a shape of bouquet to present on birthdays, anniversaries, marriage ceremonies. So how much capacity your idea has to bear the brunt, whether it's a all-round business, whether it's a seasonal business, how much, all these aspects needs to be considered when you are entering into a business. Can you reach your target audience? If you're selling inline skates, online skates, are you opening in an area with an population of the right age and disposable income? Like I will tell you, I will share one more example. Recently in Lucknow, there is a shooting range which have been opened by Mr. Vikrant Rai. He has also opened its one branch in Barabanki. Now, if you see, he's already established shooter on a national level. But if you see, why Lucknow or why Barabanki? Are they the urban markets? Are the people ready? Are the parents ready to invest that much of amount in such type of a hobby activity for the kids? Yeah, of course, yes. because the future, the insight of the parents, whether the families are having that much of income level to invest that much of the amount, yes, definitely Lucknow and Barabanki do have. But the only thing is how you showcase that talent, how you showcase that particular idea of yours in front of the consumers, and how much are you willing, how much competition you are facing. So if I talk about the shooting range, there is no one in the UP. And even if you talk about in India, there are, this is the first of its kind, the private entity who has opened up. So as you can see, but now the challenge over here is to extract the kids, to extract the customers. And how they have to do, they have to tell their skills, their expertise, they are showcasing their talent, so to attract the majority of pool of the customers in Lucknow and Barabanki. What is the meaning of market assessment? Market assessment is a detailed and objective evaluation of the potential of a new product, new business idea, or new investment. It is a comprehensive analysis of environment forces, market trends, entry barriers, competition, risk, opportunity, and the company's resources and constraints. The economy of India is characterized as a developing market economy. It is the world's fifth largest economy by nominal GDP and the third largest by purchasing power parity. According to the IMF, International Monetary Fund, on a per capita income basis, India ranked 139th by GDP nominal and 118th by GDP public parity partnership in 2018. So as you can see, the definition altogether, it is a comprehensive analysis of the environment forces, market trends, entry barriers, competition, risk, opportunity, and the company's resources and constant. So you have to understand as to what sort of a market you are entering and what sort of the trend or competition are there in the market. What are the entry barriers? Entry barriers here refers to what type of the licensing arrangements are required to start your own business, what municipal operations or municipal approvals are required to start your own business, what are the risks associated with this, and what are the opportunities associated with it, because it has to be seen, it has to be seen in light of the future, because you're investing a huge amount of your time, money, and other things. So before investing, you have to have a detailed analysis of these aspects before you commence your business. Market dimensions of SSI units or small scale industries units. Marketing is the performance of business activities that direct the flow of goods and services from producer to consumer of user. Marketing is a creative function. It promotes trade and employment. Marketing coordinates finance, production, and distribution and determines and directs the scale and value of total efforts. Marketing is a matching process by which a producer provides a marketing mix, that is product, price, promotion, and physical distribution, that meets consumer demand of a target market within the limits of society. Marketing and small scale industries have to face certain problems which are encountered by them, which are related to the increasing competition from within the small scale sector, as well as from large industries with established brand names and marketing setup. So you have to understand before entering into the market in the segment in which you are entering, or that is of small scale or a large scale, and what sort of a competition, because the identical industries and the organization must be there who will be giving you a threat to your particular idea as to whether you should start your setup or not. Consumer awareness in even in rural and semi-urban areas for quality goods. Even in the rural and semi-urban markets, the consumers are very much conscious about the basic brand quality. So you have to be aware as to what techniques you are going to imply to create the consumer awareness regarding your outlet or regarding your product or services. Next point is the need to set up distribution network for reaching out widely dispersed markets. Basically, it's an organized market. There are shops. One shop is at a X location, another is at a distance of 5 kilometers. So you have to understand the distribution network as to how you're going to cater to the needs and requirement of the consumers. Inability of the SSI units to exploit the export markets. Now the challenge that you cannot exploit the export markets, because if you are having that much of capacity to produce the goods and quality goods which are being approved by the international marketing people also, and you have the required international quality approvals as well. So you should go for the export market, but it also requires an immense amount of your orders, as well as your necessary approvals to begin your particular exporting of your products. SSIs are faced with considerable difficulties in marketing their products. So they do face the difficulties while they are doing the marketing of the product, because there are certain limitations. Customers are not keen. Sometimes the retailers are not very much keen. So there are certain difficulties which are related with the marketing activities of the SSIs. Limited scale of the operations, size of the SSIs, and inability to set up an adequate network of retail outlets. These all are the certain limitations which we have to understand. Now, the 1991 small scale industrial policy, what does it states? It states the economic reform measure initiated by the government in the form of small scale industrial policy 1991 changed the business environment in the country. It altogether changed the phenomenal change, drastic change it has created in the country regarding the small scale industry. The thrust of the new policy has been to provide free access to capital, technology, and market so as to include greater industrial efficiency and international competitiveness. The policy, titled Policy Measures for Promoting and Strengthening and Supplementing Small, Tiny and Village Enterprises, for the first time on August 6, 1991, is a landmark in the direction to impart more vitality and growth impetus to small sector in the country. The policy proposed to deregulate and debureaucratize the small sector to remove all fetters on its growth potential. Because basically they are trying to emphasize by by evolving the new small scale industrial policy, they are emphasizing that all the disturbances, the necessary government approvals and necessary hassles which have been created earlier has to be get removed with the introduction of the 1991 small scale industries policy, which will not only deregulate and debureaucratize the small sector, but also remove all the fetters on the growth. Basically, when you're growing, there are certain more approvals required time and again, or necessary yearly approvals are required, like quality approval, the regular inspection check of plant and machinery, the fire, against the fire, you have to have the necessary approvals and the authorities concerned. So these all aspects will be removed if these aspects of the 1991 industrial policy is being implemented in the country, which implemented has altogether created the new sphere in the market. The central excise duty exemption limit to increase from rupees 5 million to rupees 10 million, to go for fresh census that will cover inter alia the incidence of sickness and its causes. The package for Khadi and village industry sector was separately announced on May 14, 2001, to enhance the role of the sector to meet the objective of creating more jobs in rural areas and empowering the women and backward areas. So basically, the government has emphasized on Khadi and village industry sector to separately announce, which was announced in 2001, and the main objective was to create more jobs for the backward areas, backward people, as well as for the rural people, so that the migration problem of the rural to the urban population will be curtailed to that locations only if the employment opportunities are being generated to that particular rural areas. New policy measures for small scale enterprises. Prime Minister announced following policy measures at the National Conference of the Small Scale Industries in August 30, 2000, which are as under: increase in the limit for composite loans from rupees 1 million to 2.5 million. Industry related service and business enterprises with a maximum investment to rupees 1 million to quality for priority lending. Capital subsidy of 12% will be provided for investment in technology in select sectors to continue for the next 6 years, granting rupees 75,000 to each unit that obtains ISO 9000 series certification. To give a one-time capital grant of 50% to SSI associations, for example, Confederation of Indian Industry, CII, Federation of Indian Chamber of Commerce and Industry, FICCI, etc., who wish to develop and operate testing laboratories provided they are of international standards. So as you can see, the government was willing to give the, subsidies and the necessary financial aid to the small scale industries if they are willing to go with a certain norms established made by the government. So those norms are definitely will be for the initial stages only, but that is going to impact a lot for the establishment of your organization. Marketing assistance to small scale enterprises. Initially, the SSI production was confined to domestic market, but gradually production has been enlarged to cater to both national and international markets. There are about 7,500 products manufactured by 115.22 lakh SSI units, but still SSIs suffer from marketing difficulties as their products are often unstandardized and of variable quality. No scientific market research is carried out by SSIs due to poor database, installed capacity, level of production, market information, and other information required for market research are not available for SSI products. Therefore, government intervention is needed to eliminate these imperfections by improving the marketing network and bringing producers and dealers into close contact with one another. So they are basically emphasizing on the challenges which are being met in spite there are huge number of SSIs unit present in the country, and these problems are not only related to marketing, that there is also lack of installed capacity, level of production, market information, other information like market research, which are also not available towards the interrelated organization dealing in the same SSI sector. So these all challenges the government has foreseen, and to eliminate them, government intervened to develop such a market or such a platform where all the producers and the dealers can come into close contact, so that the demand and the supply of the product can be maintained equally and the generation of the revenue can be increased. Apart from that, with the growth of the revenue, there will be an impact on the employment as well and the living standard of the people who are employed in those SSI sectors, as it caters a huge market of the employment in the Indian scenario. If we talk about, the government has taken some steps. In order to provide guarantee for sale, the government gives preference up to 15% on some of the products sold by the small firms. The National Small Scale Industries Corporation assists small firms in obtaining a greater share of government and defense purchases, but does not take marketing responsibility. NSIC, established in 1955, has helped in the establishment of 21,384 small-scale units, besides securing purchase orders for small industries from the Director General of Supplies and Disposals. The NSIC would concentrate on marketing of mass consumption items under common brand name. An expert development center would be set up in CEDO to serve the small scale industry through its network of field offices to promote exports. So these all factors were considered, and these will be taking an important role. A small industries development organization was created to help these SSI units to organize and maintain close contact with each other. Now, the changes in the policy initiatives during 2006 and 2007. Employment. Five industries, namely textiles, food and processing, petroleum, chemicals and petrochemicals, leather and automobiles with employment opportunities have been identified in manufacturing sectors. As you can see, there was basic few of the industries who were employing more employment as compared to their counterparts or other industries. Textiles, fund allocation for technology upgradation fund TUF scheme increased from rupees 435 crores to rupees 535 crores. Rupees 189 crore has been allocated for scheme for integrated textile parks. Jute technology mission will be launched. A national jute board shall be established. Handlooms, 100 more clusters to be added to cluster development as a cost of rupees 50 crore. Provision for handloom sector shall be increased to rupees 241 crores from rupees 195 crore. A handloom mark will be launched. Small enterprises, 180 items identified for de-reservation. Corpus of credit guarantee fund to be raised to rupees 2,500 crores from rupees 1132 crores in 5 years. Credit guarantee trust for small industries to reduce guarantee fee from 2.5% to 1.5% for all loans. 10 schemes drawn under 5 years National Manufacturing Competitive Program. Modernization program for SSI sector. Modernization program is necessary for achieving overall production efficiency and keep the small scale industries abreast with the latest information on production processes, product designs, technological developments, training facilities for training facilities. For motivating the SSIs to modernize their units, seminars, workshops are organized under the program. The main objectives of the modernization program are improvement in production technology, product development and design, testing, design and quality control, installation of modern machinery and equipment, application of modern management techniques. So these all, objectives were taken into consideration when the modernization of the SSI units begin. So this is not only going to help in enhancing their business, that not enhancing their business, also it is also going to transform their current way of working into a new and modern way of working, as it is the requirement of the current market conditions. Threat from the MNCs, threat from the exporters, threat from the competitors is basically will be reduced if this particular modernization program is being adopted by all the SSIs. And the major points being catered in this, the improvement in the production technology, product development and design, testing, design and quality control, installation of modern machinery and equipment, application of modern management techniques. So all these are going to help the SSI to develop and enhance their future. Assessment of small scale enterprises. The small and medium enterprises have been receiving impetus in the development strategy of the Government of India. The Nehruvian philosophy of industrialization has given importance and realized the importance of small and medium enterprises for the national development. The underdeveloped and developing countries are generally dominated by agrarian economy and characterized by underemployment and rising unemployment. The industrialization in these countries is expected to serve dual purpose of creating avenues for the absorption of excess labor and diversification of occupation. SMEs must extend the necessary support and complement the beneficial effects of industrialization. The SMEs makes more efficient use of capital and labor for developing economy. They are able to produce a unit of output with lesser cost of production. Generally, SMEs units are labor intensive and require smaller amounts of capital. In the capital scarce and labor surplus economy like India, both aspects, that is more output and more employment, are equally important. And in this context, small and medium enterprises become very significant. The SMEs makes more efficient use of capital and labor for developing economy, and they are able to produce a unit of output with lesser capital, but more labor than the larger units. In the capital scarce and labor surplus economy like India, both aspects, that is more output and more employment, are equally important. The recent enunciation of the long-awaited new policy for small and medium industries by the Prime Minister at the National Conference on Small and Medium Industries in New Delhi has been widely welcomed by the industry. The small entrepreneurs nurture a genuine fear that the market-oriented reforms the small and medium industry in India needs to upgrade technologies on a continuous basis to remain objective. Adopting information technology to increase productive and leveraging their advantage of flexible operating systems. There are very effective software packages available in the country for manufacturing units which can eliminate waste, compress production cycles, and improve the quality of the products. If they are expensive and beyond the reach of the individual small and medium units, the packages can be purchased by group of units and used jointly on a timeshare basis, paying hourly fees. The promotion of small and medium industries has been widely recommended as one of the most appropriate means of developing industry in overpopulated backward countries. Japan is usually held up as a great example of what can be done in this way, and now even communist China is said to be following a similar path, at least in the rural areas. In no country, however, has the doctrine of small industry received such strong official support as in India. There are a number of reasons for this. The most important is the legacy of Gandhian teaching. In addition, the very distribution of existing small industry in India, the great pressure of population and the shortage of capital have all tended to direct attention towards the small scale sector as a possibility. So all these aspects which has been developed by the Prime Minister in the recent conference, it is being showing the impetus on the enhancement and development of the industry, that is a small scale, and to make them rid of all these problems which are coming from a longer duration were being eliminated because of the innovations of these adoption to the new technologies and the new patterns established by the government. So this will be all for today, students. And if any difficulty, do let me know. We can have another class for this. Thank you.